Welcome to the Reality Check. January 16th, 2019. So, what do we have today in the news and everywhere? Well, lots of things to go over. I mean, you can go anywhere from the child brides coming in to the strike in LA, teachers on strike. We've seen that out here in Arizona. But, yeah, the next place they're going to have to strike the teachers is Florida. Because Florida lawmakers are actually want to make sure high school students have money management skills before they graduate. So they're going to pass SP 114, which will require students to take a half-credit course in financial literacy. It didn't pass in 2018, but hopefully they want to pass it this time. So that's definitely going to be union strike. How dare them try to make kids take anything that might benefit them in the future. We have the Barr hearings. Barr wants to, Bill wants to become the AG. Pledges transparency in the Mueller report. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, basically, you have a bunch of Democrats that are saying, even if there's nothing on this report, will you make sure it has something damning? Will you make sure it gets out? We're going to write junk in this report. And no violations of law, but we'll say a stupid Trump is, will you let this garbage out? I mean, to be honest, I think there should be some prosecutions here. We've wasted taxpayer money long enough on the smaller junk. Started by a false premise. We all know it was paid for. Paid for information from Hillary Clinton. Paid for, made up information. Now, to the Barr thing, he's done everything. The guy's been an AG before. He knows that it is a job. It's ridiculous that he's getting grilled like this, but we know it's because he's a Trump appointee. Ridiculous, though. I'm going to tell you. So, besides that fact, though, ridiculous, yes. We all know. You have... When you go back to the original start of the Mueller investigation, I have to go through this because I had to read this putrid trash. You still see people saying that, the dossier, it's not been proven false. It's not been proven false. Now, have you ever heard another, accusation or anything? It's usually, are there any facts to back it up? Has it been proven? You never heard. Well, it hasn't been proven false yet. Think about any person who's saying that. Firstly, you're an absolute moron, and you would never want to be treated that way yourself. Absolutely not. That's just the equivalent of, if you're a moron that believes that, you really believe that, oh, well, it's not been proven false. And any person you know could have said, you know what? 10 years ago on this day, you touched me inappropriately. And you try to prove that wrong. Are you going to have every receipt from 10 years ago this day? Do you even know what time it was they're talking about? You could have not even known them by then, but prove it. How do you prove you didn't know somebody? How do you prove you weren't at a place when you don't even know what time it is or where it was? That's the way these things go. Well, it hasn't been proven that it's false. Well, yeah, you can't prove made-up cloth is false unless you're lucky to be on camera somewhere at that exact time. And it's been recent enough to pull that camera. Sorry. In the real world, that's not how it works. Otherwise, most people would be in jail. Just accuse, right? J'accuse, So, that being said, we can move on to other stories. Hold on a minute. Let me adjust this lighting there. I see you're going to be blinded by the light, right? That was a great lyric to a song, Blinded by the Light. Oh, hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright infringement for singing a quarter of a verse there. But now that's off, and my face is hidden in the darkness, which is better for me. Now, we have Gillette, right? They came out with that awesome commercial. And Just basically insulting men. Now, I understand they're talking about bad behavior, and no real man would do that stuff. Those are people that aren't men that do that stuff. Chicken asses and pieces of garbage, stuff like that would do something like that. We know that. But two things really about the commercial. I mean, you got to understand, like, next, what is Gillette going to do? Are they going to give out handbags with every purchase? A man bag with every purchase? Is that it? A man bag? I mean, one, you're going to convince me shaving is going to make men act better. So are you saying people with beards are animals? Now, I don't like having a beard at all, but I don't begrudge anybody's right to that. That's their business. You have your own preferences. So, I mean, are you just basically saying if you don't shave, you're going to act like a piece of trash? And how come it's mostly, looked like in the commercial that mostly the white men are degenerates? What's up with that, Gillette? Now, I think the Patriots should boycott their own stadium, right? Gillette, get that name off of there. That's disgusting. They voided their contract with their poor behavior, Gillette. But another thing about it is, and I don't hear too many people, let's say, I don't hear any Democrat women speaking up of how horrible this is. Can you imagine if a product came out like, I don't know, Louis Vuitton, and said, no, I guess Louis Vuitton wouldn't work. Let's see who would work. I don't know. Usually I'm pretty good with the analogies, but this one's kind of weird because it's like you're not even making your, I don't know. Let's say, yeah, that's it. Let's say, what is it, Nine West or one of those cheap handbags. Let's just say like Target or Walmart, the brand of handbags they carry. The cheapest handbag they carry. Let's say they had a commercial and came out and said, don't be a gold digger and buy our purse because it's inexpensive. Only a gold digger or a dirty S would buy Coach or Louis Vuitton or Juicy Couture. Only that type of girl would buy that. We need to be civil and behave and buy these cheap handbags because they show we're not about the money. I don't know. What do you think would happen then? Think that company would be pretty extinct by now, and people would be calling for them to stop their advertising, and boycotts and sexist. How dare you call women the S word, right? You can't even say a woman can make a salad these days without saying that you're harassing somebody, or at least if you're Donald Trump, right? We know how that happens. So, we had Donald Trump feeding America's food. Fast food is America's food. Almost everybody alive is eating fast food. It happens. That's America's food. Good. For once, the government didn't have to pay for a meal. There was a meal that was actually not charged to the American taxpayer. Amen. What's the complaint about? I'm going to be honest, I understand our college kids. I don't understand what any of these sports champions go to the White House for. It's a waste of taxpayer money. You save a life, you save a bunch of lives, you stop the terrorist attack. Okay, I get that. You're going to get a medal, go to the White House. But you've won a sports championship? I really couldn't care less. Waste of taxpayer money. My personal belief. I mean, it's good. I feel a little bit bad about saying with the college kids, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them. Or maybe twice in a lifetime, right? But good for them. But in general, it's a waste of taxpayer money, Now we had Trump's speech last week. Of course, we had the fact checkers. They were everywhere, right? Fact checkers. We're checking the facts. Yeah, they're checking the facts. I mean, Trump said good evening, and there was a flurry of fact checkers saying, he's a liar. It's not a good evening. It's a bad evening because the government shut down. It's a bad evening because he's talking. It's not a good evening because I had to go to work. Trump's a liar. Fact checkers say. across America, Trump's alive. What do you expect from these people? You know. What do you expect from these degenerates? Oh, well. Oh, well. And then a funny story, I think MTV apologized because by accident they didn't run something that was mindless trash. Good hold, MTV, all about the mindless trash. Yeah, a matter of fact, I think the next time they're going to run a music video and they'll apologize for that. Because we don't run that nonsense on this network. MTV. MTV. Now, Pelosi. Bella Lugosi. Pelosi. She is threatening or whatever. She's saying the State of the Union is going to be postponed. If I am Donald Trump, I'm rubbing my hands in excitement, let me tell you. Let her postpone it. Who cares? He can go out and give a big speech wherever he wants and talk about the state of our country and bring out all the angel moms and have them talk about how their children were victims of what Trump's trying to stop. The illegal aliens, right? Let her do that. That would be absolutely incredible for Trump. Another big speech. I'm sure the networks will try to block it and say it's illegal. Who cares? You just need one person with a camera to come on, and it'll go all across all of the social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, whatever social media junk there is. It will go viral. There's nothing they can do to stop it. So for Trump, it's even a better opportunity for him. And then you don't have to see these flaps in the audience over there with their nasty looks. We don't have to see, I guess we get to at least pass by the Joe Biden giving somebody a rub down. At least we don't have to see this that time, because he's not there. But you normally get to see that, or you get to see these people that look so angry, or, whichever. But best thing that can happen for Trump is that. Definitely. Awesome. Now, just love it. Love it. It'll be great. So, Tamika Mallory of the Women's March doesn't condemn Louis Farrakhan. We hear about the Steve King. He's been condemned. He's been ripped of power. People have told him to step down. To be honest, the guy sounds like he has a mental issue. He just sounds kind of confused, like he's not even sure of what he said. Either way, nobody condones racism. King can step down. I'd tell him to step down. He's lost any voice or message that he ever had. And I don't care if they say the people elected him, whatever. Yeah, you're elected at a time and then things happen, Just like if you do something wrong, time to step down. All right? If you roll Rahava in Arizona and you're drunk, time to step down. But I'll digress from that point of that. Just saying, you see all the people on the certain side talking about this. What about, I said Tamika Mallory, right? Women's March wouldn't condone Farrakhan. Neither would Barack Obama. Neither would a bunch of members of the Black Caucus that hung out with him. Or how about Tlaib, right? Rashida Tlaib? Oh, new government star. She's an anti-Semite. No doubt. She hangs out with anti-Semites. She gets congratulated by anti-Semites. She has talked bad about Israel many times, say they have no right to exist. She's an anti-Semite. There's no question about it. Has anybody asked her to stop? Has anybody... Not only have they not stripped her of committee power, they've actually tried to give her some. And people are like, where's the outrage? Well, there's going to be no outrage because the Democrat Party condones anti-Semitism. If you're a Jew and you vote Democrat, you're an absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon. If that's your thing. Now, if you don't care about religion and you're voting for other things, okay. You might not be that intelligent either, but okay. But if you're a Jew and that's the most important thing to you, Jewish, Israel, and all that, and you vote for Democrats, you're a buffoon. I mean, it's just like if you're a police officer and your most important thing is safety in your job and you vote Democrat, you're an imbecile. I mean, you're pretty much voting to get yourself shot. You're voting people that have condoned people shooting at police officers, killing police officers, celebrate the murders of police officers. That's you. So, again, they love anti-Semitism. That's why they don't even condemn. You can't even, it's like when somebody says racist stuff and you're a Republican, you get many people right away. This guy should be gone. This guy should be done. That's it. I don't condone anything. Right away. When you have anti-Semitism, it's nothing wrong with it. They can't even say they can't even pretend and lie. Or you get the other alternative too. Remember Robert KKK Byrd? Ku Klux Klan Grand Kegel. Not just a member. He wasn't just a member. He was a supervising member. And now they'll say, well, he wasn't a Grand Dragon. Oh, okay, so he was 2 steps down. I'm sorry, but he wasn't just a casual member. Even though being a casual member of the KKK isn't good at all. Right? Very nasty. But KKK Byrd was a supervisor. Now, that's funny because Bill Clinton, talking about KKK Byrd, said, well, you know, he might have had to say some things to get elected. Right there, that shows the guy has no moral compass if he said stuff like that to get elected. But he didn't just say stuff to get elected. He was a supervisor. He wasn't some dude in the back of the room just sitting there and hoping to make some friends and get some votes. He was the leader. He was a guy who said the N-word multiple times on national TV. No condemnation. You can't even get them to utter the simple phrase, that's not right. That's no good. I condemn him. I condemn Rashida for being an anti-Semite. You can't even get that. I condemn Keith Ellison for beating a woman. You can't even get them to say that. But yet, if somebody on the other side were to drop a pen on the ground and bend over to pick up a pen and rip their pants, they're going to be condemned for their butt crack showing. Even if they had underwear on. They're condemned because they didn't have the right underwear on. You're supposed to come out and say that. And yet you do, and you have people here who can't even lie about it. I know they don't mean it because they are anti-Semitic, but they can't even, oh yeah, we're against anti-Semitic. They won't even say it. It's like the Wicked Witch or something. Like, they can't even take the water because they know. They know they're going to melt away. So that's what you got. That is what you have there. So many people, it's funny, Nancy Pelosi's home, Laura Loomer went over there, and she had a protest outside, brought some illegals, and of course the cops were called. Why would that be? I thought it's free. We should invite people, share it. We don't need walls. We need freedom. We need friendships, right, Nancy? We're going to wash the feet of the illegal immigrants. Where was the foot washing? They called the cops on these people. Why? Why can't they have access? Why can't they be their neighbors? Come on, Nancy. Have a heart. Now, what's funny, another thing, like, before I was meant, people that say stuff, and, they're just dishonest. when you get people that talk about the wall, per se, like before I was telling about like the dossier where they were saying, well, it hasn't been proven untrue. And people know, anybody with a moral compass knows, you can't prove something to be untrue in a lot of cases. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you were eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 5 years ago, 6:34 p.m. on a Tuesday. Oh, you can't prove it's untrue, so you were eating it. Hey, come on, seriously, it's like the old, when did you stop beating your wife? And any answer you give, you're guilty. Now, you have that with the wall. You have a bunch of clowns saying walls don't work. Well, one, nobody says it's only a wall. But walls don't work. People can go under them. People can get over them. People can go through them. Okay, so in your theory there is, why put a door on your house? Because it costs money. Why put a lock on your house? It costs money. Are they decorations? Is that what you're saying? Why have a fence around your yard? Is it a decoration? Just put it for decorative purposes only then. But it's not, because somebody can get through the door of your house. They can break down the door. They can pick the lock. They can climb your fence. They can drive through your fence. That can all happen at your personal house. So do you not put these things up? No, you put them up. They're the first people to put them up. Whether Obama has a 6-foot wall, a 5-foot wall, an 8-foot wall, he has a wall around his house. He has police around his house. Why? Because he wants to keep certain people away. People that might do bad things. And that's what we want in a society. The wall is not the end-all be-all, but the wall makes it easier for the monitors we know to check the ground. We know to check for ladders. And we can see if somebody goes through a wall, they're an enemy combatant right there. There's no ands, ifs, buts, mistakes about it. So when you're saying that the wall won't stop everything or that's just ignorant and you're lying. Both. It's just that simple. I mean, that's like saying when you put people in jail, it doesn't stop crime. Yeah, we know that, but it's to deter, to give some people a chance to get better, and for respect out of the victims so they don't have to deal with it. You violated somebody's rights, now your rights are going to be violated. It's just that simple. And you see these people with these dumb arguments, the wall doesn't stop everything. Yeah, then unlock your doors, unlock your car, leave your keys in your car for a week, and tell me how that goes. Park your car in the middle of LA. You want to be a tough person? Then why don't you do it on your dime? And stop doing it on our dime. We spend that money in the wall, we know we're going to save. We're going to save a lot of money personally, so it's financially responsible. And it's morally responsible because the money that we need to, one, lessen the tax burden on our citizens. It's ridiculous that most people pay over 50% of their paycheck in taxes. And stop giving me this excuse about, oh, no, they get loopholes, this and that. Let me tell you, the billion-dollar corporations in general, unless you're a friend of Obama like GE, pay a huge amount of tax. Now, could they get around this stuff? Absolutely. There's always ways people try to skirt the law. But there's also a bunch of people on the bottom that don't make enough money. They don't pay any taxes, which that's not really fair either because they are getting services. And then there's people in the middle, which is the majority of America, that pays taxes for every and anything all the time. Everything you're doing is a tax. And you don't see it. These people tell you, oh, you're not paying. Oh, you're getting this refund. What you pay for federal tax and state tax, that's not even close to the amount of taxes you pay every day. You pay taxes on your phone bill. You pay taxes on your electric bill. You pay taxes when you buy shampoo. You pay a tax to get your car registered. You're paying a tax when you want a permit to build something. Right? You're paying a tax when you want to make some improvements somewhere. You're paying a tax for if you have a business license. You're paying a tax in a lot of places if you have a pet. These are all taxes. So when they're telling you you're only paying this amount, you're paying way more than that. And then all the prices are based on taxes as well. Well, when you work, your employer has to pay taxes. So if you own a business, you're paying a payroll tax. When you're buying stuff at the store, they have to pay taxes. So what goes into it? Obviously, your price that has to cover that payroll tax that businesses pay. So you're paying taxes on that. You know, it's taxes, 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 and taxes are everywhere. We don't mind paying our fair share, but our fair share should never be over 25%. I'm sorry. A person should be able to keep more of their money to do what they need to and want to with it, whether it's donate to charity, pay their bills, or waste on whatever they want, than the government taking. The government was never set up to take more of your money than you get to keep. And right now, majority of Americans, or at least the majority of working Americans, give away more through taxes than they get to keep. Check it out. Do the math. Look at your bills. Think about what prices are and why they're that. And you will see. You pay well over 50% of the money you earn in taxes. It is absolutely ridiculous. What's up today? Another day in New York. De Blasio wants to give out free insurance. He wants to steal money. He wants to take property. If you're not up to the code, he's going to take your property. Absurdity. Just communism. You know, next thing, they'll eminent domain your land. Oh, and we won't give you a penny for it because we didn't like the way you ran your business. You charge rent to people, and we want rent to be free. So we're taking your building and we'll give out free rents. And if you're lucky, we'll let you run the place. Thanks. Right? Thanks. Another caravan coming up from Honduras. Don't worry, only a few thousand more people that might have diseases or might have criminal records, but you're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to know about it, right? What else do we have? We went over State of the Union. We went over the salad remarks. That's a big deal. So forth and so on. Pelosi, let's build a wall. Who cares whether it works or not, right? Then we can see, just like your Obamacare, we need to pass it to know what's in it. So we need to build a wall to see if it works. That's good. That's good, right? That's exactly right. Oh, we saw, it was a picture of Democrats. They were on vacation while Trump was waiting in the White House to make a deal. They were at Puerto Rico. Now, we read about that, and they were with these donors and whatnot, lobbyists. That's fake news. I'm going to tell you how we know that was fake news. I know people won't agree with me. Oh, we saw the pictures. And that's the problem. If you look at the picture, good old New Jersey's own Bob Menendez, you saw he was talking to some girl in a bikini who was, I'm not going to say an old lady, but at least a middle-aged lady, right? And we all know that good old Bob doesn't like that type of woman. So what would he be doing talking to her? I think it's fake news. Now, if you show me a picture of Mr. New Jersey Menendez talking to some young girls, then yeah, maybe I might believe that. But we know Menendez doesn't play that way. Yet he's a moral compass. Figure that one out. Hey, simple. Why don't we slash food stamps by 50%? We can pay for the wall in what? 2 months? 3 months? Boom, done. Probably even less. You're going to say they have a right. They don't have a right. They're getting free stuff, so they should be thankful for what they get. But we have a right for some security and protection. And we want our kids to eat. And we're paying the money, they should be able to eat. But they can't eat if they get murdered by illegals, right? Right? Right. Remember foreign? Yeah, might as well have been foreign, but former. Haha, slip of the tongue, maybe in the reality of what it was, but former UN ambassador Samantha Power. She unmasked more Americans in the last couple months of Obama's presidency than any other UN ambassador had done their entire career. When are we going to have an investigation into that? We're waiting. Interesting. Here's a thought. So if you follow my Twitter, you'll see this. I posted this the other day. Now, we had the red for red here, like I said, in Arizona, and they were getting ready to do another strike. I'd say replace them all. But, I mean, they lie to their own people, the leaders. They lie. Now, you have the LA teachers went out on strike. Yet their union, and they went on a strike, they want more money, they want smaller class sizes. They were offered more money, they were offered smaller class sizes. Now they want retroactive pay. They're just upping the ante every time it's agreed to. But just in the matter of class sizes, they want smaller class sizes. Yet you have these same union members who are right there backing up and wanting the illegals to come in and get into school. And then they're going to complain about overcrowded classes. I mean, what sense does that make? You know, I remember when unions actually were for the American worker. They're not anymore. They're actually for the American dollar. Not for the American worker, but for the American dollar. And I can tell you, because I know, it's happened all across this country, where the workers vote not to strike, and they say, great. And then you show up the next day and you're on strike. They don't care about the American worker or the American worker's opinion in the modern era of the union. All they care about is funneling that money. Doesn't matter who it goes to. They just want it funneled. They want to launder the money. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And they're not for the American worker. They're for the American dollar. No difference between them and most politicians. For the American dollar, not for the American people. That's it. Now you had these bullies who were posting the names and addresses of teachers or substitutes that crossed the picket line. Now, people might say, so it's their freedom of speech. Okay, well, let's go that route. It's their freedom of speech. Now, what would they be using that freedom of speech for? Like, why would you can say this person, I don't like them, they're anti-union, or whatever. But to post their home address, what would that be for? You're not really making a point there. You're not really saying what the problem is. You're just posting someone's home address. Why would that be? You want to know what district they live in? No. You're posting the address, and you know well why you're doing it, is you want people to go to their house and intimidate them. So you're responsible for all the violence that happens. Anybody who's harassed at home or at work. And that's how you push the agenda. Bully. So we have the schools talking about no bullies, and then they're run by bullies. I mean, this is like life is turning into Mad Magazine. Stefan was a funny joke. You know, here's your Bernie Getz mask, put it on and you'll be protected. It was like comedy. It's funny because it was a joke. It was not real life. But now We have this in real life. You have teachers that talk about bullying actually being part of a group that bully people. You gave out home addresses. You know why. You wanted these people to be intimidated, and you want something to happen. There's no other reason why you'd give out the address. If you had points and you wanted to talk to them, you would do that. You're not. You're giving out home addresses because you want pressure, which you know leads to violence. I mean, think about it. Let's say there's someone I had a disagreement with, and then I got a knife, and I gave it to somebody I know and said, hey, I'm not really happy with this person over here. Here's this knife. You know, I'm not saying to do anything. I'm just saying I'm really unhappy with them, and here's this knife. So, you know what you're doing. You're giving out home addresses in the hope of pressuring these people because you don't want them to show up. You're a bully, and that's kind of terroristic if you ask me. But that's how you get your way. We know. Not for the American people, definitely. For the American dollar. And that's what it's all about, my folks. For the American dollar. It's all about the American dollar. As you're costing the school districts money because of lack of attendance. Now, one. And shorter show than normal. Maybe we're going to do more shows a week. I don't know. I got to play around with it. You guys tell me what you think about it. But I feel like sometimes an hour is too much for some people. So this one's about 40 minutes. So here's a good one. Or an interesting one. Everyone was appalled. Not everyone, but a bunch of people, you know who they were appalled that Trump brought fast food into the White House. He's just disgracing the White House. Declassing the White House. Now, Trump got people to bring in fast food to the White House. They set it up for a football team. Now, Clinton got a pizza delivery in the White House. And he gave the person who delivered it a sausage, if you know what I mean. That's what Bill Clinton did. He gave the pizza delivery person a sausage and a cigar. But there was nothing declassing the White House there or morally wrong. No. But Trump can't bring in fast food. How dare him? My only mistake that Trump made was, or my thought process of it, is he should have brought in some Chick-fil-A. Really piss off the liberals. I bet if he brought in Starbucks for them, they wouldn't have a problem. Could have had a few cups of coffee and some needle dispensers. Would have worked out great. Some people like that. But in Realville, in the reality check, we don't like that junk. We'll stick with the fast food. Thanks for tuning in to the reality check. Have a great day. A safe week. And we'll catch you next week, where we'll have more headlines across America. And more liberals who have mental disorders. And we'll discuss their behavior and see, even though I am not a licensed PhD, we will see if we can help them out. Have a great week. Thanks.